Man, this was created by the people that wrote Lost. Now that is impressive. Although I guarantee they don't have anybody like Sarah.
It's time to play Whack the A-Hole!
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for today. This one's going to be doing my very first and big review we have here from Season 1. This one is going to be going over the entirety of the season. We're going to be talking about it and giving our full thoughts. So, I just finished from Season 1, literally just earlier, so I figured I'd get on here and do a review for this season. This season was absolutely insane. This season was just balls off the wall, man, honestly. I can't even get over how crazy this was. So, I reviewed the pilot, and then I went on to watch the other 9 episodes this season, and then here we are. I will still be doing individual episode reviews for this, probably once we're caught up. However, I do want to be caught up for Season 4, in time, of course, because I hear it's next year, which I know it's, probably still a while, but I want to get caught up because a lot of people are really trying to spoil this show right now, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just try to watch this show, honestly, as fast as I can, because I don't want to get this spoiled for me. I really like the show. So I'm not going to take my time with it and review every single episode individually. I'm actually kind of binge watching this show right now. So you'd probably expect a Season 2 review next week, probably, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, this first season, guys, I really, really enjoyed this show. I really did. Now, I hear Season 2's quality kind of goes down, but I'm not going to let that, destroy what I thought of this first season because I loved the premise. I loved what they did with this. It's 10 episodes. It's really, really interesting. There's a lot of really interesting characters, a lot of interesting perspectives, and it felt very immersive. There's only a few things I'd say that kind of made me a little like, maybe that could have been done better. But aside from that, I thought it was a great show. I thought it was a really cool premise, and I thought it was awesome. So if you're not aware, this is basically what the story is that in the first episode, you got a family that, of course, is driving in this RV, trying to, get away on a vacation. And they keep coming back around this same town, realizing they're on basically a loop, you know what I mean? And they can't get out of this area. No matter what route they take, they can't get out. They're stuck in this town. They're stuck in this general area. And nobody can leave. And they run into these people that are living in this town, ran by a sheriff named Boyd. And Boyd is our leading character in this series. He's really awesome, too. He's played by the guy that plays Michael on Lost and a bunch of other, roles that guy's had. The actor is incredible. I love the actor. Great lead material for a series. I think he's absolutely fantastic. But you got him. You got his kind of second in command sheriff guy, which is Kenny, kind of like a younger guy. You've got Chrissy, I believe is her name, Christy, something like that. She's the nurse in town. She's kind of the one that, helps out everybody and stuff like that. She's, there to help all the injuries and all the stuff that goes down, which there's a lot of them, given the circumstances, of course. And you've got a few other characters. You've got the family. You've got Jim. You've got Tabitha, who is the wife. Jim, who's the husband and stuff. I like both of them. I thought they were really cool. You got Julie, who's the teenage daughter. I liked her. I thought she was cool. And then you got Ethan, which is the young boy, which I liked. He was kind of a cool kid. I liked him. He adjusted very quickly, given the circumstances, And I like them. The family is really good. I like their story. I also find, I'm trying to think of every other character we have. Sarah was an interesting one. They kind of make you think she's crazy, and, to a degree you could say that she kind of is, but then you learn her motives, and you kind of realize towards the end of the season that maybe she isn't as crazy as we all kind of thought she was in the first few episodes, at least. Sarah made me uneasy, not gonna lie. She made me very uneasy. The actress, though, I gotta say, did a great job. I really liked her. We've got Donna, who kind of runs the ship there, kind of besides the sheriff. She's kind of in charge of this big house that a bunch of these people live in and stuff. Kind of a hard ass, but she's, she's tough at what she does. She's good at what she does. And we've got a few others. We've got Ellis, who is Boyd's son, who Boyd does not have a good relationship with. We kind of meet him and stuff. And there's a lot of other characters, Ellis's girlfriend and stuff. I liked her. I forget her name at the moment, but most of the names names, as you guys can probably tell, stuck with me because the show is that good that I'm remembering a lot of the character names. But Nathan, Sarah's sister, who she fucking, killed and stuff. But anyway, really great cast overall. Like, the cast is great. I love them. I think they're great. I think they all work in their own ways. And they're fantastic. One other character, low-key, that does stand out to me in this cast is Jade. Loudmouth son of a bitch that I felt like I wanted to punch every time he was on screen. And then you realize, okay, I mean, this guy actually kind of is useful, I was with Jim on this one. I was like, can you get the fuck out of the house, bro? Can you get the fuck out of here, But he was making sense, like he did. He made sense. He got the freaking radio going, and he made it all work, So I can't judge him too much, but I was like, holy shit, man. Chill the fuck out and take a, a chill pill or something, But anyway, let's run through these episodes. I'd like to discuss these all kind of through. So, Episode 1, we've reviewed. We've given our thoughts on that. Episode 2, really enjoyed. This was great. You had the introduction to Donna, the house, the people that are living in there. You kind of get some more screen time with them. You have, Ethan that's getting saved by Chrissy. Of course, she's kind of trying to save his life and stuff. And these creatures are, coming in and stuff, trying to come in. So, obviously, the rule is that if you're, stuck and, you're in the middle of the night, get somewhere indoors or somewhere safe because these things are going to knock at your windows, stuff like that. And they will come in and they will kill you. That's the idea. So they're, it's kind of like it's kind of like a Stranger Things-esque type of thing, beware of the monsters, and especially at night, because they don't come out during the day, but they do come out, at night, and they will break into your house if you don't shut all the drapes and stuff and just stay inside until the next day. Basically, that's the idea. So yeah, it's a really creepy idea. Like, they only come out at night. In the daytime, you can kind of do your normal activity, but at night, they wreck hell if you don't stay indoors and stay there and, don't make contact with these creatures and these monsters or anything like that. You know what I mean? And they're creepy too. Like, in episode 2, like, you see a few scenes of them where they're kind of walking through the streets and they don't run towards you, which I thought was kind of the scary part. They don't run towards you, they just walk. It's like they know that it's not a problem. Like, they're going to get you eventually. So it's like, who gives a shit, Which that in and of itself is creepy as hell. I can't lie. That is creepy as a motherfucker. But anyway, that was really crazy. You had episode 2. You had Kenny's dad in this one that ended up dying, which I thought was really sad. He was kind of older and stuff, but again, just messed up, man. People are dropping like flies in this freaking show. It's insane. And then you get episode 3, which I thought was pretty insane because you've got a few things going on. You've got Frank, the guy that of course lost his wife and his, daughter, of course, in the first episode. He kind of volunteers to die, basically. He decides he's going to die, and Boyd basically kind of lets him do that, you know what I mean? So we see that. And we also see in episode 3, Juliet, she decides that she's going to go with the house crew, with Donna and the rest of her people. She decides she's not going to stay with her immediate family. And we can kind of see that causes a bit of a rift, because obviously Tabitha doesn't want her daughter with some strangers that they only met a few days ago, but, she insists to go with them, and that's, basically that. So, episode 3 I thought was fantastic. Episode 4 was fucked. This one was crazy. We had Victor, who's a really interesting character, by the way. He's kind of like the one guy in the group that they're kind of afraid of because he doesn't really say much. He's always making these drawings and stuff. And it feels like he knows so much more than everybody else does. He's kind of one of those type of characters, It makes you wonder what else he knows about these monsters that come out at night, right? So, he's making these drawings, he's doing all this stuff, and you got Jim that's trying to kind of adjust to this place, at least for the time being, because he knows that they're stuck here. So, he takes his boy out to the diner and stuff, in this town and stuff, and they go have breakfast and stuff. They get the pancakes, which he wanted, so, nice moment there. And then you've got Victor that is, like, drawn to this kid. Like, he takes the kid, and I get what he's doing. Like, here's the thing. I understood what he was trying to do. You know what I mean? I get it. But here's the thing. He still took the kid. You know what I mean? So there's no, ifs, ands, or buts. I'm on Team Jim on that one. But I get it. Like the kid, he was trying to show the kid what was really going on. And you could actually tell it got to Ethan in the rest of this season, But You know, not for 1 second did I ever think that the guy would hurt Ethan. I guess I put my trust in him quite a bit, because I've not for 1 second thought that he would let anything happen to Ethan. And I was right. He never did. He was always there to help our crew. It just, he's trying to explain it in a way that makes sense. And he looks crazy, he sounds crazy, but he's not. You know what I mean? So, episode 4, I thought was a really intense episode for that. Episode 5 was a massive episode for Sarah. Now, this episode, oh man, this is when shit breaks loose. She gets a sign, right? I don't know what the hell happened specifically. We still don't have a full piece of context on this yet, but she somehow gets this thing on her arm that is written, "Kill the boy." And Sarah decides to proceed with that. She goes to visit Ethan, you know, she spends time with him. She got them crazy eyes, you know. I was like, holy shit, man, this chick is making me on edge. But anyway, she makes an attempt to take Ethan out. Yes, the young boy. And the only reason she does that, and we find out about it, is that apparently these voices in her head, the people that are communicating with her, which sounds like it's connected to these monsters or something, are basically telling her that, you know, if she kills the kid, they can all go home. They can all find a way home. So obviously that's a dilemma, right? Because you don't want to kill a child, you know? I still can't believe how easy it was for her to go ahead and, you know, attempt to do that. But you can tell it was tearing her up and she didn't want to do it. But she's also trying to think about her brother, Nathan, and she's trying to think about, you know, the situation. So she locks Tabitha inside of a barn while she attempts to take out Ethan. But then Nathan, her brother, interferes. Unfortunately, though, she accidentally kills him instead and cuts Nathan in the throat and kills him. And Ethan is saved by Jim and, you know, the rest of them and stuff. But it was just insane. And now everybody thinks that Sarah's crazy. And we actually never got a real answer on that. You know, what the town is going to think of Sarah, because she's still at the end of this season out there with, you know, Boyd. But insane, man. Insane episode there. Now, episode 6 was really crazy, too, because this episode, you kind of learn a little bit more about this, you know, this pastor guy, right? And he ends up having Sarah locked up in somewhere where they won't find her. And he's trying to get information out of her. And he even realizes in this episode, like, you know what, she's not crazy. It's just, there's more to it than meets the eye. You know what I mean? But he keeps her locked up, and he ends up telling Boyd about it later on. But I thought that was pretty intense. You know, he got the information that he wanted, you know? Now, yeah, that was crazy. We also found out that Boyd is kind of on the verge of having Parkinson's, which is really insane. He's kind of, you know, throwing the ball around with Kenny and stuff like that, you know, trying to kind of, you know, spend some time with him because his real son doesn't like him, you know what I mean? Which this whole season we kind of spend time on why Boyd and, you know, Ellis don't really have a great relationship with each other. But we get to that here later, which I thought was incredible. But episode 6 was really, really crazy. We also had Jim and Jade that are kind of trying to get this radio signal, maybe to try to get some kind of message out there that, you know, of where they are to try to save their lives, you know. And Jade is just just down asshole. He's a cocky piece of shit. But he is right, and he is smart, and they need him, and that's why they're keeping him around, you know what I mean? But he annoys the hell out of me, I must say. But the actor does a great job, because that's what he's supposed to do, you know? So, episode 7. Okay, now this is the episode of this season when I knew that this show was dead-ass serious. I was like, what the hell is going on, man? They throw this big party, right, for one of the girls there, Ellis's girlfriend, and, you know, the first half of the episode I thought was pretty chill at first. You know, like, it's all the party and the this and that and the, you know, teenage drama and the relationships going on. And I was like, okay, this, you know, it's a fine episode. And then you randomly get this stuff going on where you have the pastor that goes to Boyd. He basically tells him straight up. He's just like, yeah, no, like, listen, you know, we got Sarah here. I got her locked up and stuff. You know, she can, you know, show us, you know, what's going on and stuff. So Boyd kind of, you know, goes along with this and stuff, and he's like, all right, you know, what are we going to do? But meanwhile, you've got this guy that's in this party, this random, that apparently his girlfriend died or some shit like that, and he sees her across the window in the middle of the night, right? He doesn't really trust it, but he lets her in because he's horny.
He died.
Fucking died right there in the recliner.
And basically, you've got her that comes in there, she basically gets with him and then kills him, you know? She has sex with him, then kills him, you know? There you go. And I just can't even. This got so fucking brutal. I mean, this shit got so goddamn brutal. The whole party got fucking ruined. Like 14 people died, I believe is the number that Donna said. Bloodbath, absolute bloodbath. You got these guys coming in here with like these smiles and stuff, you know? What the fuck? Like, the shit actually was really freaky, man. It was really freaky. Good, though. Really good. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was a really intense scene. It's the most intense scene this season, without a shadow of a doubt. It was fucked. Like, it was insane how just crazy that was. Absolutely insane. And then they literally have to run from this house. They go to Boyd's, building, right? Where he works. They all go into this building and stuff. And then you got frickin' the pastor that ends up getting killed on their way in there. So he dies as well, too. I'm telling you, people drop like flies in this frickin' show. And you've got Boyd that sits there and kind of prays with him in his final moments. But no, episode 7 to me was the craziest one out of the first 7. But then you get my favorite episode. All right, this was my favorite episode this season. And that's episode 8. The backstory of Boyd and getting to see how he showed up in this town. You got him and his wife. He is a ex-military soldier. You've got Abby, that is a ex-Marine, his wife, who is dead in the current timeline. So obviously the flashbacks are kind of telling us how that happened. And when they arrive in this town, and I just thought this was insane. I mean, they get introduced to what's going on. They're told about what happens, and they get the download. And I thought this was a really insane thing, is that realistically, some people wouldn't believe this. Tabitha, even earlier this season, kind of was asking, like, are we in hell? Are we dead? You know what I mean? Like, is that what this is? And, it's a good question. I mean, given what this place is, it's a very, very good question. But they decide to just say, yeah, no, like, we're still alive, stuff like that. But, people like Abby in this flashback kind of think otherwise. They're like, we're in a nightmare. And she kind of loses her mind over time, right? And you got this sequence where she's in the town popping people, killing people left, right, and center. And you've got frickin' Boyd that, goes up to her and he's like, hey, look, listen. Like, it's all right. It's okay. And she's like, it's a bad dream. It doesn't matter. Like, let's eliminate everything and then, we'll wake up from this, And she's gone completely mental. And then she raises her gun to try to kill Ellis, her son. And Boyd has a snap of a finger decision to make. Let her shoot her son or shoot his wife to protect his son. And that is what he does. God damn. Like, that's to me when the story got deep. I was like, holy shit. And it explains why Ellis doesn't like his father in the current day. I mean, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. It's fucked, but it makes sense. Unbelievable episode. That one was just, I couldn't get over how insane that episode was. Honestly, I couldn't get over it. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, no, crazy ass episode. So then we've got, of course, Boyd that goes out there, says goodbye to his son. They make up, they make peace, which I liked after a while. And, you've got episode 9, the penultimate, where they're basically trying to get this radio to work. They're trying to set all this up. Everybody's following Jade and Jin and their orders and stuff. They're trying to do anything they can. You got Donna that kind of doubts that this is going to work, But, some people think it's going to work. Some people don't think it's going to work, stuff like that. And then in the final episode, the finale, we have Sarah and we have Boyd that are out there, basically. Their tent gets messed with. Sarah is out there, and you can actually see, like, for the first time, you fully understand what Sarah is going through. The voices, everything she's experienced. It gets to a point where you can tell, like, yes, she's fine. Like, she's all right. She saves Boyd. She helps him out. She's good, She even saves his life by telling him to go inside of the tree. You know what I mean? Which is the cliffhanger with Boyd just stuck in this fucking, like, some kind of tunnel inside this tree. I don't know what the hell was going on there at the end of the season, but, you've also got them trying to make this radio communication, and they finally do it, They finally get a hold of someone. But at the end of the season, you've got a massive sequence where Tabitha is still digging this hole in this basement trying to get answers. And you got this person over the radio that communicates with Jim, and he's like, yeah, like, I would recommend that, Tabitha doesn't dig that hole. Jim knows at that point that's not a anybody that's there to help you. It's somebody that's there to fucking mess with you. And as soon as he hears that, he runs into the house, tries to get Tabitha, but it's too late. Tabitha is stuck inside this other kind of dimension where these people are. And you got Victor that comes out and saves her life, and he's trapped in there too. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what the frig's going on, but that's how they end the season right there. That is how they end the season. So, I mean, this show is nuts. This show is great though. I love it. I think it's fantastic. The only thing that I could say was kind of jarring from this season, I felt like the characters got overly used to their life in this environment, like especially the family. It felt like it didn't matter what else was left back home. Like it didn't matter to them almost. Like it was like, oh, we're here now, so fuck it, you know? That's like the only thing that felt a little jarring for me. Aside from that, I thought this show was really creative, really, really cool story, really great, you know, just overall storytelling. I thought it was fantastic. I really did. There were so many twists and turns, so many things to it that just stood out to me. Yeah, no, I love this show. I love what they did. I loved this first season. So I'm going to give this a solid 9.5 out of 10. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought they did a great job with it. I thought it was really good. Like I said, a few things I could have, you know, maybe gone without. Maybe a bit more believable of a reaction from the family in this one. Maybe a few things here and there that I would have tweaked. But it's really like, it's honestly near perfect. I loved it. I thought it was a great first season. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you guys think of From Season 1? And we'll be reviewing Season 2 and 3 once I get those completed, probably the next week or two. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click to subscribe and to miss any other videos for From. Make sure to follow me at Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for my videos for From. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.